Yo, guys! Wow. So basically, you guys are basically bored because apparently Devil got about 50 questions today right now. I think some dude sends about 6 or 7 questions. So basically, this self-isolation thing is getting guys desperate. So look, man, we are here to provide, man. We're here to provide you guys content. From I always say, like, more shout outs to the nurses and the doctors out there and all the people in the hospitals putting in that work, man, because those guys are the real heroes. So we always have to sort of shout out those guys that are pretty much hopefully trying to keep us safe and keep us healthy, man. So we have to just briefly, how you guys doing? Because we've got a lot of questions to go through. So just very briefly.
A lot of questions.
I can hear them clapping out there now, actually.
Same. That's like my name. So, wait, is my house like falling down or something? I was like, what's going on? So, okay.
Listen, I keep saying, listen, it's only because I do the dugout on Thursdays. If not, I'll be meeting out with my friends every Thursday at 8 o'clock to clap over some,
Westminster Bridge.
A few bears, wherever in it, obviously gathering to clap is okay. You just can't and have fun instead, but
All right, guys, look, man, we have lots of questions to roll through, man.
Yeah.
And without further ado, let's ride, man. Let's ride. So, first question, man. From Just Bested, man. Shout out to my Dutch amigo. Who would be your top 5 strikers of all time? Mine is R9, Van Basten, Gerd Muller, Batistuta, and the Eto. That's a good one. I think mine would be. I would roll with R9 for sure. Where Batistuta. You probably have to put in Van Basten in there, and then I'll probably then say maybe Eto. Because I was thinking of Shevchenko, but I've got to roll with Eto in there. So yeah, I've got to show my African bias, and I'm putting Eto in there.
I sounded like 4. I could have been wrong.
What is it?
R9, Van Basten, Batistuta.
So okay, yes, yeah. R9,
Weah,
Van Basten, Batistuta, Weah, and Eto.
Okay.
And also Drogba, most clutch player of all time. So that's just easy way. Shush. Drogba.
Carling Cup merchant.
He's in there. Drogba's in there. He's in there.
Littlewoods Drogba.
Worthington Cup Drogba.
Yeah, relax. Wait, CL, Alliance.
See, the question for me is, when they say favorite, do you mean personal favorite, as in you just enjoyed watching them, or in terms of you think they are the best? Do you know what I mean? Because that's 2 different questions. So for me, my R9 would be in my top 5 either way, whichever one you want to go with. It's going to be R9 will be in there. Romario would be in there as well. And I'm going to base this on strikers that I had the pleasure of watching rather than who I've had to read about. And so people like Gerd Muller and Van Basten, I didn't really get to see. So I'm not going to put them in there.
How good was Gerd Muller really?
Well, if we're going to go by numbers, Gerd Muller was the records the records he was breaking are still now being, the people are still trying to catch their records now. So I'm going to say R9, Romario, a striker who I really enjoyed watching just because the brute force and the fact that nothing was pretty with this guy, but he got the job done, was Christian Vieri. Christian Vieri was a beast.
There was a World Cup where, I swear to you, he had one of those nets over your head. If you have an injury. There were about 3 or 4 Koreans on this dude. And this guy still got because basically me and my friend, we basically call him like Tank. This guy had about 4 or 5 Japanese or Koreans on him, and he still headed the ball through with like a premium basket case on his head. That guy was a beast.
He could score a header from about 35 yards. I tell you, he was one of the best headers of the ball you ever seen. Vieri was original gunman. Obviously, Thierry Henry has to be in there. I have to go with Thierry Henry. So I've got one more. I'm going to say Ian Wright. Just because, as an Arsenal fan, when I was watching Ian Wright when he was in his heyday, it was just, he was something else. And I think he doesn't get enough respect for what he was capable of doing and what he did do week in, week out for Arsenal. For him to be our record goal scorer, and you think, that's a lot of goals. It was a lot of goals. So I'm going to take Ian Wright. So that's my 5.
For the sake of the question, I'm going to leave out number 10s. or support strikers. So the likes of Bergkamp, even Raval.
Pure strikers.
I'll probably leave out Pele as well because he was probably a bit of a support striker more than the main number 9. I will go, and again, yeah, obviously it's difficult when you want to name players that you haven't seen, but I feel obliged to do so because there's some of them guys before they were putting up numbers in it. And as a striker, you speak to any striker, they always talk about listen, goals are the currency in it. It doesn't matter how they come, whether it hits your bum or you score 30 yards. As long as that ball crosses the line and it goes down as your goal, that's what you get paid for in it. So I think numbers is probably the striker position is probably the only one where numbers is probably the leading category when you're talking about how good that person is or how effective that person is. So I have to go R9, of course. He has to be in everyone's top 5. Henry, for me, that's a given.
Why?
Because he's the greatest player in Premier League.
Striker, not player.
He's the greatest
striker.
But he's also the greatest striker.
He's the greatest player in Premier League history. He's a striker. So he has to get in.
So you can't name 5 guys above Henry as a striker. Look, do your list, man.
Eusebio, I'm putting Eusebio in there because his record is phenomenal. Even just Portugal and his World Cup record. That's phenomenal.
First question and HX is choking already.
No. There's this like pepper stuff I've put into my salmon sandwich, man. Damn. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, I could put Gerd Muller in or whatever it's Gerd, but I'm not because I haven't done enough research on Gerd Muller. I know his numbers are there, but I know enough research. So you say I've seen footage, for example. I'm gonna go Andy Cole.
No, don't.
No.
Nick, do it. Nick, don't.
Man is this.
Nick, don't.
Let's say second, but he might not be second anymore.
No, he's in the top 5 though.
Yeah, he's definitely top 5. I think he's third. Might be third highest scorer in the Premier League. 1 penalty. 187 goals, 1 penalty. And so I'm putting him in because he's underrated. That's the only reason I'm putting him. I'm just putting that out there already. There's certain man who's better than him. Ruud van Nistelrooy. Oh, someone said that Ruud van Nistelrooy. Rooney's a greater player for us, but I'm putting Andy Cole in because people don't mention Andy Cole enough. That's why I'm mentioning him now. And has anyone said Batistuta? I think Batistuta.
Yeah. I would have, but I can't forgive him for what he did against us in the Champions League. He ruined us. I haven't liked him ever since. Bad boy striker, but can't do it.
I think I'm gonna put Batistuta in there. He was brilliant. I'm not gonna put Ronaldo in there, Cristiano that is, because he's
not a striker.
Well, you say he's
a striker now.
We'll make your mind up. But he's a striker now. His peak is more than a striker, so I wouldn't put him in there. But my top 5 could change tomorrow, innit? So this is my Thursday top 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So from Jack, thank you for the question. Jack says, what football game has pissed you off the most and how did you react afterwards? For me, it was Liverpool losing to Madrid in the final. Pissed off the most.
You know what? Obviously, at the time, there's different emotions you get, and the Aguero moment so dramatic, and it cost us the title in everything that happened. But there's one that because we won the title, the year before and the year after. Like, what was the ramification in that? The one that I still think about to this day, actually, is the FA Cup quarter-final in 2008 against Portsmouth, and we battered them. Old Trafford as well. We battered them all game, and we couldn't break down the door. This is obviously Harry Redknapp's Portsmouth, and they got some. I was gonna say dubious penalty, but it wasn't dubious. It was a stonewall penalty, but it was on the break. Like, they probably the only attack of the whole game. Kuszczak, I can't remember who he tripped. I want to say Sully Montari, but I know it was Sully Montari who actually scored the penalty against Rio Ferdinand because Rio Ferdinand could go and go to replace him. And we lost the game 1-0. Portsmouth's next 2 games were West Brom, I believe it was in the semis, and Cardiff in the final, or the other way around. And they won the FA Cup. That same year, we won the Premier League and Champions League. If we had beat Portsmouth, that would have been the treble. Like, that was the easiest part of the FA Cup after that game. As a matter of fact, even including the Portsmouth game, that was 3 games where we should have won the FA Cup. And that would have been another treble. So to this day, I'm always thinking, damn, man, if we just put away that chance, or if Kushak didn't foul whoever it was, Montari or whatever, then, yeah, it was bad. But, yeah, that one really pissed me off.
Yeah, there's 2 games that I'm going to say. One was that I watched on TV and one where I was actually in the stadium. And the first one, the one I watched on TV, was the FA Cup semi-final at Villa Park. Ryan Giggs, when he scored that goal. I was so vexed after that game because in my head it's like, why did no one kick him? Why did no one kick him down? There's about 3 minutes left in extra time, whatever it was. Take the red card, and then, because didn't you guys have 10 men as well?
Yeah, we did. We had
10 men.
From 90 minutes, from the main game.
Wait, who got sent off?
Was it Keane?
Yeah, probably. Always Keane, isn't it?
It was Roy Keane.
He missed the final.
Yeah, so kick him down, take the red, and let's go to penalties, innit? And see what happens. But no, they let Ryan Giggs slalom through the defence. I was so vexed. The second one was the North London derby at the Emirates, 4-4, where we was 4-2 up with 30 seconds left in injury time, and we managed to draw 4-4. And the reason why I was so vexed is because I was so close to the Tottenham fans throughout the game. My voice was gone.
Was that the David Bentley one?
Yeah, David Bentley. So obviously when they took the lead, David Bentley scored that goal from halfway and they were giving it. And I was full-on hooligan in this, mate. Full-on hooligan. Shirt off, voice gone, swearing at them and everything. Like, by the time we were 4-2 up with 30 seconds left, there must have been about 50 Spurs fans left. All of them had gone. So they scored the 4-3 rule, whatever. Kick off, they equalised. They went nuts, ripping up chairs and chucking chairs at us. And we just stood there in silence. And I remember the game. Huh?
Was it Lennon?
Aaron Lennon, yeah.
That guy was good, man. Lennon and his day was all right.
And I just remember after the full-time whistle went, and I was stood there looking at the centre circle for about 10 minutes, didn't move. I was staring at the centre circle like I couldn't believe what I saw. And when I got outside, that's the only time in my life when I've gone to a football game and thought, right, this might kick off, and I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. I was proper hooligan. That pissed me off so bad. I was ready to just, scrap with some Spurs fans, but couldn't find any. So,
All right. So I've got 2. The first one is obvious. 2009 UCL semi. Chelsea were on their way to beat that dude's team in the bottom right of your screen.
In hindsight, that game pissed me off because that would have been back-to-back Premier Champions League for us. At the moment, I was like, yes, Chelsea's out, and then we got destroyed in Rome. But anyway.
So basically, because I think it's just the manner in which it happened, and I think for me, I was like, okay, wow. Do you know what it was? When Iniesta scored, I was like, all right, it is what it is. Superb goal. It's those decisions, and literally when you just saw what's his face, Ballack, like screaming the referee, I was like, no, you can't do that. It's like, it's a penalty. You can't be like, oh, because Iniesta scored in the last minutes, it's over. No. It's a penalty. Give the decision. It was like there was a concerted effort to say, no, we don't want the same 2 teams in the final 2 years in a row. And basically, it's a disgrace. My drug body, so that was me. My second one is the Euro 2012 final. Now I remember watching. Now this was the times in which I used to basically look. I was struggling for cash sometimes, so I used to watch matches outside of the pub, because if you go into the pub, you have to pay for a drink, and I couldn't afford £4 to pay for a flipping beer, so I used to basically watch matches outside of the pub. So basically, if any of you know Baker Street and the Globe pub, you probably see like this black dude jumping up and down outside of the pub. So that's when I watched the Italy-Germany game. And I was so happy when Balotelli scored, because I was like about to say, the narrative, a dark-skinned black man winning the Euros for Italy. I was like, and for me, Euro 2012, I was prepared. I walked through. I went up early on Sunday. David Silva scores the first goal. Damn it. All right, it is what it is. Then when Javi did that through ball to Jessica Alba, and it was 2-0, and I was seeing how the game was going, I was like, screw this. So I left before halftime, I was swearing to myself. I was cursing to myself. I was so pissed off because I was saying, damn it. Lo and behold. So basically, I haven't actually seen the rest of that game because I know that's thingy won 4-0. But I was pissed off that Balotelli didn't complete my narrative of him winning that Serie A. Because again, what's a different thing now would be if Balotelli had won those Euros for Italy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man!
Can I say quickly?
Go for it.
There's two other games that actually pissed me off. There was the Ghana Uruguay one. That
No,
I'm not gonna go into it.
No, wait. Score that damn penalty. It's from 12 yards.
It pissed me off because I was where was I? I was in central London, but I was in a bar with a lot of Ghanaians. I got a picture on my Facebook. I might post it on Twitter later. And I'm just sitting in the corner. This is after John missed the penalty because obviously there's a break in between full time and extra time. The whole place was silent. Everyone was like, I can't believe it. My journey home, my brother, we barely spoke until we got. And we're like, what happened? Like how? Listen, that African team in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
No. But do you know what I always say about that whole thing? I'm like, that's a loser's mentality. First of all, you had the penalty, and also, I hate Cannibal because he's a racist and he eats people. I have no hate for what he did there.
Nope.
If I was Nigerian,
everyone would have done that.
Yeah,
because he got sent off.
I would hope my team, my player, whatever, would do that. You hope that they would do that.
100%.
And the final one, which has just slipped my mind actually, for God's sake. If I think of it again, I might say it.
Okay. So very quickly, Thuram or Lam? For me, Lam all day, every day.
It's not that straightforward, you know. I would say Lam. I'd say Philip Lam, just because I think he could do more in terms. He plays centre back, right back, central mid, and yeah, I'll say Philip Lam.
Yeah, probably just Philip Lam. Thuram was brilliant.
All right, so thank you for your question, Mr. Ahead of the Curve. Would the Arsenal Invincible team beat Mourinho's 0-4-0-5 Chelsea team, which only considered 15 Gs all season? No, they would not.
No, I don't think we did.
No.
I mean, it's literally the season after. I don't think we did.
No.
No, that Chelsea team, I don't think gets enough respect, you know. When people are saying about the best team in Premier League history, that team in that season, I would put them right up there. Right up there.
Yeah, which is why it was so. I was so. Because that Chelsea Liverpool, was that the semis or I think that was the semis, wasn't it? The
ghost goal. Yeah.
Bro,
yeah.
Call me crazy because those Milan guys already showed that they're a bunch of losers in that final. If Chelsea made that final with that Chelsea team, I think Chelsea say what's up with the team.
But you bottled it.
As I said, if Chelsea made that final, I think they would have beaten the crap out of those losers called Milan in that 5.
But maybe.
But you know, the if doesn't really exist in football terms, does it?
It doesn't.
Because if doesn't count.
Look, answer the question, man. Answer the question. I say no, yes. Okay, so never said no. Yeah, I say no. Chelsea, like
they lost one game all season, so you know,
yeah,
you end up in the league anyway. That was.
All right. So I'm just going to thank you for the super chat. To all three, greatest player of your club. Oh, for me, look, I always say, look, Drogba is the greatest player, but the player that made me ride with Chelsea was Zola. So Zola was what made me ride with Chelsea, but the greatest player is...
No, the greatest player of Chelsea is not Didier Drogba. It's not. Stop it.
Okay, who is it? Dennis Wise?
It's Lampard. It's Lampard. It's Lampard or Terry.
No, it's not.
It's Lampard or Terry. Those are the two options.
No. When look, when Drogba did what he did at the Allianz, he solidified his name in history.
No.
What Lampard? No, you're that dude. When Drogba did that, no, it's done, finished.
No,
Kaput.
it's Lampard or John Terry. They are the two answers to that question. There's no other answer.
Surely Zola must be in the equation.
No, Chelsea fans voted.
He's the best player.
Chelsea fans officially voted Frank Lampard their greatest ever player. He's the highest top goal scorer for the club. He's a midfielder. He's the club's highest goal scorer. He is in the top 5 of both top 10 of both goal scorers in the Premier League and assists in the Premier League. I think the only other player that's in there is Rooney. And Rooney's a striker. Come on, man. You lot need to give Lampard his respect.
Look, answer the question, man.
Thierry Henry. That's easy. It's going to be harder for Neeks.
Wait, Devil. So you're showing no love to Mustafi? Wow, that's surprising. Harsh.
Not Dennis Bergkamp?
No, it's Thierry Henry. It's Thierry Henry. I'm not saying we haven't had great players. We have, but Thierry Henry is the greatest player in the Premier League, so he's got to be the greatest player of Arsenal as well, surely.
Okay, for me it's Ryan Giggs, but Ryan Giggs is not our best ever player. So just because Henry was the Premier League, he doesn't necessarily have to be like Rooney. For me is probably second, but there's a number of players who have been better for us. But because of the longevity of both Giggs and then Rooney, of course. But yeah, Giggs for me is the great.
And also, it's like the impact the player has also had.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other player that's had an impact at Thierry Henry. You could say Tony Adams, he's Mr. Arsenal, led us to, but no other players put us on the map as Thierry Henry did. Do you know what I mean? Thierry Henry, if it wasn't for Henry, we were in the conversation as being some of the best teams in world football when Thierry Henry was in Pomp. Not saying we were the best, but we was in that conversation. He led us to that. So it's got to be Thierry Henry.
All right. Thank you, Sammy, for sending in your question. It says, best team to never win the UCL. Mine is 2012 Madrid. Well, let me answer that right now. I think you have the right year, but I think you've got the wrong team. 2012 Bayern. Again, I believe that the powers of Achilles, Zeus, Moses, Joseph, and everything were on the Allianz on 20, because I still don't know how Chelsea beat that team. Bayern beats the living crap out of Chelsea for 90 minutes. It was a complete. So I don't know how. And they missed the penalty.
But the only thing is that Chelsea team wasn't a great team. So Bayern beating Chelsea, the living craps, everyone expected Bayern to win the game going into it.
No. But my thing though is that the only thing that Bayern team added was Javi Martinez the next season. It was pretty much the exact same team. All they added was Javi Martinez, then they won the flipping treble the very next season. So that team, and also people need to put some respect on what was the name of their striker, the really tall German?
Gomez, yeah, Mario Gomez.
Mario Gomez. That guy was a very effective striker. So
except for the final,
that's Bayern 2012, and then maybe a close second might be the Barca 2011.
But they won it in 2011.
No, sorry, but I was going to say no. That Barca 2010 weren't as good as that 2011 team now. They weren't as good as that 2011 team now.
The thing is, I want to say AC Milan 2005. Because 2 years before they won it, and 2 years after they won it, and they just changed a little thing in between. And that team in 2005 was probably the best out of the 2 years, 2003 and 2007. If we're talking player for player, like it was literally a star-studded team, man for man, and to go 3-0 up as well and lose.
Okay. So this was a team that got to 100 points for 100 goals. 100 points and most goals in La Liga history.
That was Mourinho.
Oh yeah, Real Madrid. Yeah.
Another Mourinho semi-final.
Yeah. And you know another Mourinho side that you could say were the best team not to win is that Chelsea side that we just talked about.
Mourinho always fails to win the Champions League with the best sides. It's just what is it? He can only do on his backs against the wall.
So so you guys have So who did you?
I'm going to say the Chelsea side. The Chelsea side that lost one game in the league and conceded only 15 goals. 15 goals in 38 games. You know how crazy that is.
That's messed up. Like I think this Chelsea side have conceded like 15 goals in like five games. So so next, which team did you say?
AC Milan 2005.
Gatlock says, to be honest, UAE Real 2017 pissed you off. Not more, but yeah, it pissed me off so much that I didn't do a post-match analysis and I left the game early. because I was so convinced that Juve were going to win and so forth. And my best friend in the world scoring 2 goals. Yeah, like I didn't do a review of the game because I was so angry. Greatest French player, Platini or Zidane? Zidane. Yeah, I get it. He bowled in 1 Euros. I'm not putting Platini over Zidane. No way.
For me, it's Zidane. But, Platini obviously is a legend as well, obviously.
From Blue Kings, thank you for your question. At their peak, who was better, Bale or Zad?
I've seen this.
So I saw this on Twitter. That's
yeah,
why
it's been going around on Twitter.
Pick this one because I know it's going to ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, every time I see it, I have the same answer every single time.
Okay, wait. I have to, let's dissect the question because you can look at the question in 2 ways. Better player, more effective. Who was more effective at their peak? 100% Bale. Bale at his peak was ridiculously effective. Who was the better player?
What does that mean? Okay, how do you quantify better other than effectiveness?
Better in terms of what you're doing in the game, your contribution in the game over 90 minutes.
But your
and
contribution
in the game over 90 minutes in a game.
That's effectiveness.
So that's effectiveness.
No.
That's the same.
Effectiveness, no. It's like this. Bale can give you two goals. He may not do much in 90 minutes, but he'll give you 2 goals, make you win the game. Assist, make you win the game. So he will do you things in a moment or so that will make you win the match. That's effectiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make you the better overall player who has done more over 90 minutes?
So what I'm saying is, if you're doing something over 90 minutes, you are being effective. Dribbles in the middle of the pitch are not effective. You might be better at dribbling in the middle of the pitch, but it doesn't make you effective. So I'm saying if you are effective, doing something in the game over 90 minutes, then you are being effective. They go one and the same. I agree, however, that being effective doesn't mean you're doing everything over 90 minutes. But if Hazard is doing everything for 90 minutes, he should be more effective than Bale. So if he's not more effective than Bale after doing something for 90 minutes, the question is, what was he doing over 90 minutes? Well, it's because I think that it's a cop-out argument that I've seen from Chelsea fans, and you said it now today, but it was on Twitter that I've seen, and I'm like, the man, someone said, oh, it was playing in a defensive Chelsea team, was Bale's, but he got them to a league title. Bale's was inconsequential because they finished 5th in the end. But then the next year he went and won the Champions League. So what is peak Bale? Bale maybe spans 2, 3, 4 consecutive years. Hazard is 1 year on, 1 year off, 1 year on. For me, and also, Bale is not a disappear for 90 minutes and pop up. That's not Bale. It wasn't like that for Tottenham, and he wasn't like that for Real Madrid. So I don't know where this argument comes from. The man is, especially in that Spurs side, was the go-to guy, which means anytime they got the ball and went forward, they looked for Bale. You can't just pop at once.
And you know what? It's not a straightforward question because Hazard obviously was, at his peak, which is we have to remember that's the key to the question. At his peak, Hazard was unplayable. But I would go with Bale for this question, and the reason because at peak Bale, I've not seen many players do what he did. There was goals that he scored for Tottenham. I'm not just talking about that Inter Milan game. I remember one against Norwich, edge of his own box. 6 seconds later, he's on the edge of he's rifled it top corner from about 25 yards. Beat 3 players. He was a one-man team. Whereas Hazard, people say he carried Chelsea, but you look at that Chelsea team that was around him compared to what Bale had, and it's not the same. I'm saying people say, yeah, Hazard led Chelsea to a title. Yeah, they did, but he still had Costa, he had Fabregas, he had all these man, so Bale was playing with Esu Akoto. You know what I mean? Couldn't even bother to comb his hair.
No. Basically, no. If people say Bale, I can't. Bale at his peak was different. The guy at his peak was different. And in terms of clutch, very few players were more clutch or were more big time than Bale at his peak. From Eves, thank you for sending in your question, Eves. Should football implement NBA and NFL drafts, whereas teams that finish at the bottom of the league that survive get top talents to level and maintain the playing field of competitiveness in leagues, and help teams who don't have the big budgets. Now, Eves, this will never happen in football. I've always said that I think is a great idea in American sports, and how American sports shine a spotlight on the college game, and how they're able to introduce parity with regards to, if you're bad, you get the picks of the best players and so forth. So, but the thing is that as much as I want that in football, remember, NFL and NBA, there's only one league. There is no relegation. So that is a big thing. So for instance, if I'm a big time, basically, if I'm like a young dude coming through, my victory is I play for an NBA team. That's it. Because all of that, so yes, I would love to play for a Clippers, for a Lakers, for a Milwaukee Bucks now. But even if the Sacramento Kings do me, I'm financially secure. Yeah. My life has changed. I'm playing in the NBA, and that's it. I'm in the big league. So, but with football right now, there are so many leagues, so many levels, and so forth.
So many countries.
So many countries. People will want to go to that 1%, the Bayern, the Liverpool, the Man United. So they want to come to the whole small thing. And also remember, the football is the biggest sport in the world. It is the biggest, most massive sport in the world. And the owners and people out there, everything has already set in motion right now with regards to, this is how I make my money. So it's almost like the capitalist viewpoint. No, this is how I make my money. This is how we're doing financially. And I should be given the freedom to get as many good players as I can, because this is competition. And because this is competition, I'm going to use whatever I have in my power financially to get the very best players, to give my team the very best chance of winning these trophies. Now, if you're not saying, oh, no, you can't just buy with the players that you want. The very best players are now going to be given to a flipping Scunthorpe or a flipping Tapas FC. Them like, what? So it's a noble idea. I thought the idea would work, but when I thought about it further, it can't work.
And I think the additional thing to that is that if you look at the path from, let's say, a child into the top league, it's completely different. They go through a college system, and you pick from that college basketball system, whereas or NFL. Whereas in football, your path into the professional leagues is, everyone's different. You might get picked up by an academy. You're doing, someone scouts you. You're all over the country, all over the world, being in different grassroots areas, coming through different systems. You come through Man United's academy, so you're a Man United player. It's not an FA hub that has every player in the country, and then the players in England the teams in England can pick from them. So you will have to change the whole structure to do that. I think if you were talking about competitiveness, versus big teams with budget, I think a salary cap is the only way to, and it doesn't even level the playing field, but it brings more teams into the competition. The same thing. It brings more teams into the conversation. You're not going to get a Scunthorpe challenging the Man United, but you could get a Leicester, a Everton, a Watford challenging the Man United because the salary cap's in there. So you're getting players from abroad. They're like, well, if it's for the money, Man United can't pay me more than X amount, and Watford are willing to pay me X amount. It don't make a difference to me. I just go to Watford. So
I think the only way they'll be able to do it is going off what you said. They'd have to scrap the academies, and what they'd have to, no club could own a youth team. What they'd have to do is do like regional youth setups, so young players could still play in regions. So it'd be London or Midlands or blah blah. And then each club will get a draft pick from whatever region they want. So say, for example, League Two would have their own budget. All of them clubs will have a certain salary budget. They might get a certain pick from certain regions. And then it'll work its way up to the Premier League. We will obviously have a larger salary cap and could probably have a few more picks. But they might say that League Two might have picked some of the best players. But the only way that the top dogs can get that is by trading with that League Two club, so that League Two club will make some money. That's the only way they could do it. But then an issue with that would be there's other countries other than England that play football. So would each country only be able to pick from their own talent pool? How do we have international transfers? So I think there's too many
Too many leagues.
Intricacies. Yeah, I don't think it could work for football. The salary cap thing could work, but I doubt very much football would want to go down that route because there's too much money in it. Can you imagine telling? How would you do it? Do you know what I mean? How can you tell Man United, okay, your salary cap now is, I don't know,
100,000,
15 million per month, but they're paying man 400,000.
Yeah, but the thing is,
how are you gonna?
The thing is, even if there's a lot of money in football, the argument is that money doesn't need to go to the players. So it doesn't stop, BT Sky from being what they are. But what they do, and it will come back to the fans, if they can reduce their salaries, then they reduce their ticket prices. If they reduce their ticket prices, then more fans can access the game. Yeah. Maybe, so that they don't need as much money. Maybe merchandise goes down. So, yeah, for example, if you said right now, okay, tomorrow, because it might be a salary crap in the sense that no player can be paid more than X amount. Obviously, if you have many players in your book, yours are going to be fine. Or it might be something like a percentage of your revenue. So obviously, the bigger clubs again are still going to have that advantage.
They're still going to win. Yeah.
Yeah, but because it's a guaranteed percentage of your revenue that's going to only go out in those costs, then you can reduce costs elsewhere. There's going to be no argument when fans say no, away games should be subsidized. For example, I think, I don't know.
No. But basically, it's something needs to happen though. I just think that there just needs to be a way to bring parity. But I just don't think the American way can work. I know this may be interesting. Maybe this is something that we can actually maybe discuss about. As in, if we watch a classic match and we review a classic match, something that we can do for Monday's show. I don't think I want to watch this match again.
Nah,
because
been done.
Actually, you know what? This is another match that actually pissed me off. Based on all the Liverpool fans that annoyed me in school and how I came in at 3-0 and these lose. I think that's why how do you give up a 3-0 lead at halftime? It's like how?
Well, to be fair, we gave away a 4-0 lead. I think we've done it twice at halftime.
Come on, that's in the Premier League, and this is a great team.
Yeah, but to give away a 4-goal lead at halftime is ridiculous. To do it twice is just Arsenal, isn't it?
I just remembered what my other game was that pissed me off.
What?
7-1. And you know why it pissed me off so much? Because I wasn't even able to watch it. And at least you can take it in. What happened? I was on a train coming back from, I don't know if it was Birmingham or something like that. And, I saw the score at one point, I think it was 1-0. And then you as you're coming into Euston, the signal's not really working properly in it. So I didn't really know. And then I just overheard someone's on the phone, like, wait, it's 5 or 6. I can't remember if it was 5 or 6 at the time. And I was like, what? I'm thinking, nah. They must be talking about. I knew they were talking about the game, but it didn't make sense. So they had to be talking about. So I'm frantically checking, trying to read, and I see Brazil's losing 5-0. I said, no, angry the whole way home. I came in, I think, because we went 6-0 before 6-1. Yeah, I think when I came in 6-0, I just sat in my seat, just slumped. I don't know.
Like watching that game was different. Like I told you, like at 3-0, 4-0, I left the room. Because like I just felt ashamed because I just felt a sense of shame, even if like okay, I'm not in the stadium. Like they were just like okay, I can't. This is too embarrassing to even witness. It was.
I thought it was funny. No. It wasn't funny. It was bad. I was banging a Brazilian chick at the time. It was hilarious.
Well,
not while I was watching it. No.
It's like, see, that would be wild.
No, but you know what? When that Rodriguez goal, Argentina in the World Cup. Yeah, I was. Yeah, that time I was. So I missed that goal. I had to watch the replay.
At the same time.
Yeah, I had to watch the replay.
Oh
yeah.
Look, man, Devil. No, man, Devil thought lives things wild, man. The guy's a wild dude, man. All right. From Andre Sapphire, how do you rate Andre 3 Stacks? For me, technically the best rapper of all time. And the Outcast Icomani album is easily a top 10 hip-hop album of all time. Okay, you know what? I'll say it. I'll come out and say big because no one else will. People need to relax when they talk about Andre 3000. He is a very, very good rapper. But the way people talk about him is like he is the greatest rap. He has, look, the guy's a top tier rapper. Put some respect on Big Boy's name. Because a lot of people just focus on Andre 3000. When you started those Oscars albums, Big Boy is damn good. Just that Andre 3000 is just obviously of a higher technical level, but that does not demean what Big Boy does. But my thing though is that, yeah, Andre 3000 is damn good, but am I now going to see? I will never put him amongst a greatest rappers list. I never would. He's like one of those rappers where like,
you can put him. You can put him in that. Like where you put him is up to you. But if someone throws in an Andre 3000, if you're talking a
top 5 all time.
If you're talking about top 10 and someone throws it in, I ain't dismissing it. I mean, he's not in my top 10. Don't get me wrong.
No. Okay. You can have an argument for top 10. Top 5?
No, not top
all
5.
time.
No, but I think, you know what? I think sometimes with Drake, I think because there's not many rappers from the South who have that technical ability. You know what I mean? There's not many hip hop artists from the South, especially when, you know, Outkast were big. Not many people coming out the South with that kind of technical ability. They had their own sound. Do you know what I mean? And so I understand where, and he's got away with words. You know, he's very good. He's very good at what he does. Have you guys heard A Day in the Life of Dre?
Yeah.
Oh man, that is a tune. Like the
Was
way
that from Andre 3000?
Yeah. It's basically it's just a story of his life. So the first verse is how
I heard something about that.
So the first verse is how him and Big Boy came together. Then it goes into how he met Erykah Badu and that whole where they had the child and blah blah blah. And it goes off to what happened. It's a good tune, man. You have to listen to it.
Wait. What's the name of the track again?
A Day in the Life of Dre, I think.
A Day in the Life of Dre. No, because I think I heard someone say something like, like this is like one of his best tracks. I mean, no, look, I said, look, the guy is a damn good rapper, but top 10, yes. Top 5, is pushing it. I'm sure critic, thank you for super chats. For your club at their peak, CR7 or Messi?
Messi.
Listen, I'm picking the guy who actually played for my club.
Messi.
Yeah, I mean, even if I don't know how he fits, put Messi in that 05 team or trouble all day, every day.
Listen, Messi under Arsene Wenger would have been a problem. Messi, Henry,
Messi struggled in the 05 team.
Just best again. Thank you, super chats. Snyder, Ribery, Neymar robbed the ball. Sad.
Neymar.
Now,
when was Neymar robbed?
2 out of 3 isn't good. I'm sorry, 2 out of 3 is pretty good. 2 out of 3 is pretty good. I don't know what Neymar is doing on that list, bro. Because when was he robbed?
Yeah.
When was Neymar robbed?
So maybe when he's talking about what? Yeah,
maybe when he was a child in the favelas.
Is it when they won the treble? Maybe?
Yeah. If you're saying 2015, Neymar didn't deserve it, was not robbed then. Nah, I mean Ribery and Snyder, that's standard. Like everyone knows that is the biggest robbery of all time. From Hakuna Matata, the better. Please don't like. That's like I don't like Lion King, man. Trust me, way overrated. The better footballer, Messi or Neymar or Cristiano?
Neymar.
See, depends on what you're looking. No, it depends on what you're looking for. No. Because you know what?
Something.
You know, Neymar obviously is the most skillful out of the three. But in terms of a footballer, we're talking more than just skills. We're talking about a mentality, about composure, about football IQ. And Neymar's is high, but I don't think any of those players there have a higher football IQ than Lionel Messi. And I think Messi, if you put all of the intangibles together, he is basically the perfect footballer. So I'm going to have to go with Messi.
For me, I think like what you're seeing Neymar doing in PSG when he is fit and so forth, just as an overall footballer, I just think Neymar can do more. There is more dynamism and stuff to what Neymar can do. I just said, Halle, he's not be fit. Like, no, Messi can do that just as
really. Is there more that Neymar can do, really? I know he's got more flicks and tricks, But is there really more than what Messi
It's
can
more
do?
than flips and
We've
tricks,
seen
bro.
we've seen what Messi can do. We've seen it for 12 years.
Could Neymar ball for Santos in the Brazilian league? That's what you need to ask yourself.
No. I mean, well, look, I'm still riding with Neymar there, man. All right. From David Khan, how highly do you rate John Barnes, the footballer? Well, for me, I didn't see him play.
I'm glad you said the footballer.
Oh,
I thought you guys would like that question. I had to
wait,
put that
mate.
one in there.
Why didn't you say how highly do you rate John Barnes, the man, the player? Come on, man.
You know, to answer the question, John Barnes was a baller. If no one's seen John Barnes, just YouTube his goal against Brazil. It was famous because back then, you know, these countries never met, and everyone was like, Brazil, the most skillful. And John Barnes, John Barnes did a madness. John Barnes scored one of the best goals you'll ever see, and all the Brazilians were like, right, I didn't know English people could do that. I mean, no, John Barnes was a special player. He was a special player, and he's a dickhead though.
Yeah, no, the guy is a loser. But yeah, like, I mean, I just didn't see dude play, man.
He's my granddad's favorite player. My granddad used to be like, "Get the ball to Barnes." Granddad, Barnes isn't playing.
No, and just the saddest thing is that a lot of the reason why so many black people support Liverpool is because of John Barnes. So it's so sad to see how much of a coon and loser he is as a person. You're like, bro, people support Liverpool because of you and because of what they thought that you stood for. They didn't know that you actually stood for the flipping clan. For super chat here from Dennis Hujdor says, "Is Messi the most loyal player ever?" Discuss. No.
Matthew Letizia.
No. Do you know? No. Do you want to know loyalty? Do you want to know loyalty? Loyalty is Buffon, Trezeguet, Del Piero.
Yeah.
Those guys, nobody would have begrudged them if they had left when those guys got relegated because it wasn't their fault. It wasn't their fault. For me, actually, these guys had just won the World Cup. So these guys were at the very top of everyone's list.
You don't think Zlatan's loyal?
What was it?
Actually, you don't think Zlatan is loyal?
Actually, yes, Zlatan is loyal to himself. So he is very loyal.
Zlatan is the most mercenary of all.
And left before the judge put down the hammer and said, guilty. Zlatan said, I'm
No. Like, he is the most disloyal player of well, not disloyal, but like,
no, he's not disloyal. He just
look,
himself in it. It's just selfish. It's fine. It's fine.
he's a football whore. You know, he's a football whore.
I think the Letizia argument is very good because Southampton were trash and he was brilliant. The thing with Juve, we all knew Juve's coming back up next year. If those, because put it like this, if say let's say for example Buffon and Del Piero left and everyone else, would Trezeguet have stayed? No, Trezeguet would have left. Trezeguet stayed because Buffon, Del Piero, etc. stayed. Del Piero stayed because XYZ stayed, and Buffon stayed because XYZ stayed. If everyone else had left, would that player have stayed? And I think it was like, you know what, guys? This has happened, but we're still the best team in it. So we're going to come back up next year if we stay for 1 year. And maybe if we don't come back up, then we can leave. You know, and the money, I'm sure they were still getting paid decent money. I don't know. No,
I know from you have to still give them a dub for that, bro. From Jan Van, if you had to be a superhero for a day, who will it be and why? I'm not sure whether I'd be Spawn because hell seems a bit hot with Lucifer and stuff. So I think Spawn is the question. I would. What's the name of that invisible dude from Fantastic Four? Oh no, is that the chick?
No, it's a chick.
Invisible woman.
Miss Fantastic, whoever her name is.
Okay, no, because I'd like to be invisible. Because
for a day,
the answer is Superman. The cheesy answer is Superman because look,
for a day you'd be trans.
Like,
The invisible trans woman.
Man, shout out to all my trans people out there. One love, Wakanda forever. Look, man. All these hashtags out there, bro, man, guys, look, man, I love you guys, man. Hashtag. Let's ride.
Where did Wakanda come from?
Whatever will get me on their side, man. I'm doing it, man. Keep it real.
You know who I go with? Now listen to me good. I don't know if anyone here has watched Meteor Man. Has anyone seen that?
No.
Meteor Man.
Now this is a film that came out in, I think it was.
Oh wait, is that the South Park guys? The guys who made South Park?
I don't know about that. I'm not sure. It's a film that came out in I think about '92, starring Robert Townsend. Don Cheadle was in it. Nick Andrews was in it actually. Bill Cosby was in it as well. And he's basically a black superhero who was he got hit by a meteor and he was fighting crime in New York, the drugs and that kind of stuff. So it was like, you know, relatable to the black community. Now I grew up on Neo, man. Neo was the favorite. Now, in the grand scheme of things, he ain't Superman, he ain't Batman. They did reference them in the show actually. He ain't got those powers, but he was my hero growing up in it. And he could fly. He had laser eye thing come out there. Well, you know, he obviously had the speed and that kind of stuff. He ain't, you know, Marvel quality, but he would do.
I'll be Superman.
I know mine. I'm Green Lantern. I'll just pretty much create mansions, create things, create donuts, create everything that I want for a day. So yeah, Green Lantern.
I'll be Superman. I'll do it properly. I can have all them powers and be an idiot.
How you mean?
That Superman is always, he gets caught up in all these things. Like you know what you can do. Why is this a problem? Do you know what I mean? You could do anything you want, and the man's always caught up in problems. There'll be no dramas in my life.
But he's supposed to be a Boy Scout. Supposed to be for the green.
See, that's what I'm saying. I would do it properly. Give me them powers, and I'll show you something. I might not be a superhero, but I'll be super something.
See, which is why we ain't giving you those superhero abilities, man, because we don't want a flipping drunk superhero basically like having sex with all these women all around, man. That'll give superheroes a bad name, man. Come on, man.
That's what Batman does.
Yeah. So for guys that players, if they are fit, why are they never fit? No. All I say is that you can only judge players when they're fully fit. So I know people say, okay, there are no ifs or buts in football, but in my life, yes, there are. If Zan is fully fit, he's top 3. Simple as that. So, you know, it is.
Better than Neymar.
From Matt Belido FCB. If Lewandowski left Bayern, where should he go? Because Messi needs a lot of help at Barca. If Barca left Bayern, where should he go? For me, almost he could go into any. For me, I think I think Juventus would benefit from him. Higuain is trash. They have no other striker. Pretty much okay. But see, the question is, where should he go? So not where do you think he'll go? Where should he go? For me, I would say Juventus. I think that would be a perfect fit for him. Again, for Real Madrid, I don't know, because like with Lewandowski, with Dybala, with Cristiano, and that team as well. I mean, my God, man, that is an extremely effective, crazy attack. So I think that just for Juventus, yeah, I think because again, if he goes there, then really, if you don't win a Champions League, you are officially a bum. If you combine with Dybala and Cristiano and so forth can't win a Champions League, you're officially a bum. So yeah, I would say Juventus.
I'm going to say Man City. I think if Aguero goes, Lewandowski goes in. Do you know? I think he comes to the Premier League, and everyone says, you know, Premier League's the best league. Prove yourself in the Premier League, and I think Lewandowski's style would suit the Premier League as well. I think he'd do really well. I think Man City. I don't think Gabriel Jesus is the guy to replace Aguero. I think he's a good complement to him, but I don't think he's going to be able to step into his shoes and you know, do it. So I think someone like Lewandowski would be a brilliant replacement for Aguero. I think it would work.
I think you're sleeping on Jesus. Now, look, Aguero.
No, I like him.
No. Very few strikers can do what Aguero. No, Aguero is arguably one of the greatest Premier League strikers of all time. But I do feel that you're underrating what Jesus can do.
No, I like him. I like Jesus, and I think he's a very good striker. But is he going to be able to do it week in, week out when they need him to do it? I think they're going to need another guy there who's been there and done that. Because after Jesus, who else they got? And I doubt they're going to go and sign a young man to back him up. They're going to want a name.
I think Man City is definitely a good shout. I think about the age might be a factor. Why they might.
How old is Lewandowski? Sorry, how old is he?
Definitely in his 30s.
I think he's 30 something now. Something. Let me.
Definitely in his 30s.
Is he not just turned 30, 31?
Maybe.
He is 31.
Oh, okay.
No, he's going to be 32 in August.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I think Real Madrid is a possibility. I'm sure Real Madrid wanted him at one point, and I think he would probably like to test himself in Spain if he was to leave.
No. I think they wanted him, but then I think they then cooled off, and then they then retracted their interest.
But I think as he gets older, the pressing style that Barca would want to play and that Man City would want to play, would he be able to do that? At Real Madrid, I think he'll just be able to do. He would be allowed to just do the job of a striker, and he would do that brilliantly. So I think Real Madrid can be a good fit.
I've got it. He goes to Dortmund in a Haaland swap. He goes back to Dortmund, finishes his career at Dortmund, buy and sign Haaland. Yeah, that's what happens.
So, do you think Haaland can do what Lewandowski has done from Bayern?
I'm not saying he could do exactly what Lewandowski has done, but he's got a good chance of doing well if he goes Bayern. Of course he has. Look at the fight. Look at the people behind him. Look at what he's done at Dortmund, and look at the players that are at Bayern Munich. He'll get tons of chances, and we've seen that if he gets chances, he scores. That's what he does.
From Sammy Boy, could you rank these football commentators? Bobby Branmore, it's up for grabs now in 89. Clive Tildesley, Solskjaer has won it in 99. Boo. Nix, Stones. That's just a low-hanging fruit, man. Don't. Martin Tyler, Aguero in 2012. Peter Drury, Roma versus Barca, 2018. I went for Peter Drury as number one, but can't split the rest. Why? Okay, first of all, before we do those, the greatest is Dennis Beckham. That's the greatest of all time. That's the greatest of all time.
He probably doesn't know the commentator's name.
Yeah. And also, Fabio Caressa for when Grosso scored that goal. Grosso, goal, Grosso. Okay.
No, the best one was when Norway beat England. I think it was in the 80s or something, and the Norwegian commentator was like, Margaret Thatcher. And he went for all these famous English. He goes, your boys took one hell of a beating. Man reeled out about 12 names.
No, I mean, for me, okay, if I was to rank these, you might have to say the Martin Tyler, Aguero, Peter Drury, Romo Vibasa, Clive Tildesley, Solskjaer, and I can't remember the Branmore one. But yeah, but I think the top
Michael Thomas.
It's up for grabs now. Yeah, that one. Goosebumps.
You know what one I like? I don't like it for the moment. The commentary was Tony Adams against Everton because he hadn't scored all season. Arsenal were 98. They run away with everything. I think it was a double. You won the double.
Won the double.
And obviously he missed the Arsenal, as Devon said earlier. And what was the comment? What did he say in the end?
I can't remember now.
Oh my goodness! It just someone. I have to remember. It was brilliant.
It's quite a famous moment. I remember, but I can't remember the words he used. And it's Adams put through by Bold. Would you believe it? And he banged. And obviously Adams is just doing it around there. That sums it all up. And it literally did, because the Arsenal team were just goals. And
and then you had the centre back breaking, the leader at the back breaking through the middle to put one, a swing
From open play.
But he just swung it. He swung at it, and he struck it so sweetly into the bottom corner.
You know, another one that I remember, and I don't know who the commentator was, but the Liverpool-Newcastle game with Barnes, Rush, Barnes, Collymore stealing in!
Collymore
4-3. And then Kevin Keegan over the thing like this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was an iconic. That's still probably the best game in Premier League history.
Yeah.
That game was insane.
Actually, you know when it goes like, Steven Gerrard, what a hit, son! What a hit!
Yeah.
Lovely cushion header for Gerrard. Oh, what?
And obviously Gary Neville in Champions League.
Oh yeah.
But to rank those ones, I'm obviously going to go with Brian Moore because that's personal.
Bias.
Martin Tyler, the Aguero one, probably next. Clive Tildesley, and then I'll probably say Peter Drury last.
You know what I like about the Peter Drury one? It was because I can't remember the word, but it was like Rowan's, Manolas, the Greek god in Rome, and it was like, I don't know if I'm not saying he had planned it, but the way it just flowed.
Yeah,
out,
it's like if it was scripted. It
was brilliant. It wasn't just he's the Neville one. It was the moment. So sweet, and in the moment, to have that composure to even reel that off was brilliant. But even the social one for me, it wasn't that one. Like obviously the iconic part of it is Beckham into Sheringham and Solskjaer was it was there's a pause where as a Man United fan you're just taking it in, and then you see Schmeichel
do like a cat's wheel,
and he's like, and then the final whistle blows, and Manchester United have reached the promised land. That was the part that got me. That was like if you had Titanic music behind,
get the heck out of here, man! Nonsense, man. Yeah, no. Yeah, I will react. I will do a reaction to Scholes. As I've always said, the whole Scholes Lampard Gerrard debate. I say Scholes technically is probably one of England's best midfielders ever, and I say Scholes technically better than Gerrard and Lampard on a technical level. Final question here, man. I think this is a cool one from Richard III, Richard the Lionheart. What are your thoughts on cancel culture, considering what's happened recently? All right, let me try and kick things off right now. Let's even bring it back to this other thing, cancel culture, man. I think cancel culture is wild. Now, I'm all for take accountability for anything you've said and so forth, especially if anything you've said has been seriously offensive. Take accountability. But there seems to be people who revel in canceling people. There seems to be this acceptance of like, he's cancelled. Like, there's this new thing out, ... is over party. So if somebody has done something right, boom, it's like HH is over party. Let's trend this. So let's just say how he's finished, he's done. And there seems to be, and they'll have their stupid memes and their stupid gifs about how they're getting rid of all these people. So, and the issue about it is that there is just a vociferousness and serious malice behind this. And I'm like, why are you so desperate to cancel people where you don't even want to listen to anything that they say in response? They can't even defend themselves. Like, wait a minute. If this is a court of law, even if the person looks as OJ Simpson did it, okay, he did it.
Whoa. The glove didn't fit, so you gotta acquit.
Look,
and then he released the book. Then he released the book saying, "What if I had done it?"
There we go. Look, OJ, you did it. But the fact of the matter is that OJ, he went to a court of law, and someone didn't prove that he did. So every single person deserves to defend themselves. So basically, cancel culture is you are guilty until proven guilty. Which means that you are innocent until proven guilty. So that's how I want to kick off with that. Things that they're just people are actively looking to end people, and they take joy. And this is the sick thing. They take joy in seeing someone cancelled and destroyed because of something they did 8 years ago. That's wild.
I just don't understand who has the time. I know we're all in lockdown right now, but who has the time to scroll through everybody's tweets to 2012 to find a tweet that's offensive to a certain amount of people? Who has the time to do that? What is missing in your life?
Wait.
Go through that and do that.
Real quick, Trevor. What I found out though is, there's this thing called tweet search. So what I think people do is, all right, I'm gonna get this go. Let me search dark skinned. Let me search in the kitchen. Let me search woman are. Let me say woman should. And if you just put that search, it literally goes all the way through and sees where those words pop up.
Yeah.
Who created that? Who created that? Now, you know what? You know what's funny as well? It's like, can't no one sit here at a ripe old age, anywhere in your 20s, upwards, and say you haven't got any skeletons in your closet? No one. I don't care who you are. No one can sit there and say they ain't got any skeletons in their closet. So who are these people? I'm not a religious person. I'm not a biblical man, but I'm sure you shouldn't cast stones if you live in a glass house, something like that.
50 cents.
You know
what
I mean?
What's that, Demo? You shouldn't go.
Throw stones, whatever. You know what I mean?
If you live in a glass house, if you've got a glass jaw, you should watch your mouth because I break your face.
If he without sin should cast the first stone.
Sit there. That's it. That's what I'm saying.
I combine like 3 different. And then,
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, devil, you messed that up completely, man. That's
But you know what I meant.
don't throw the stone if you're in the glass house.
Don't dash a stone. Yeah.
Don't do
Don't do it, because it will come back on these people. And the thing is with cancel culture now is that people are canceling people who they have a problem with. And what I don't like about people complain about offensive items. Now you might find something against dark-skinned women or whatever. I find that offensive. But when people are cussing off Chinese people, you're quiet. If something is wrong and it's offensive, defend all of it. Do you know what I mean? Or just shut up. Because there's going to be things that are offensive that you're going to be like, oh no, you know what? I don't find that offensive. So it's cool. But people find different things offensive. So if you're going to be outraged by something, you should be outraged by whatever it is. But people don't have that time or effort to do that. So I don't understand cancel culture, because for me, it's like if I see someone who is racist towards this person and then they turn and be racist against, I'm going to be like, well, that's racist. I'm not going to be like, no, you can't be racist to that person over there, therefore you should be cancelled. But when you do it over here, I'm like, well, I don't care about him. That's cool.
Or more,
What kind of, you know what I mean?
importantly, if this person and that person is racist to the same person, you only cancel this one.
Yeah,
you're like,
because you don't like that one and you like the other one. So this is where it all falls flat on its face. It doesn't make no sense.
now, before I get into my little spiel of 30 seconds, I saw a comment from Martin Rosario. It says, I think R. Kelly could be an example of being cancelled. What I was saying, I'm not sure exactly what you're implying, but just to clarify, R. Kelly is a nasty, nasty man. And cancel ain't even a good enough word for what he needs. Let's put that there. So let's leave him in his little box.
Just put that guy to one side.
About ain't nothing like what he has been doing, has done, and given half the opportunity, will continue to do. Cancel culture is a joke, an absolute joke, because and I found it out. It's got so many holes in it in terms of who you cancel, why you cancel them, and the reaction. I say cancel them, try to, because most of these people that you cancel come back a few weeks later and you forget about it. You listen to their podcast and watching them, etc. But why you cancel them, and then your reaction after their things are exposed. Are you sympathetic to the reason they may give? Do you defend, etc., etc.? Do you start thinking, let's not be too harsh? Mental health, is that for everyone or is that for some people? And because it's not consistent, the only deduction for me is that the reality is people don't care. People don't care about what the issue actually is. They, going back to have Hope's point, they just want blood. They're looking to cancel someone for something. And even if the issue has nothing to do with what they care about, what they think, how they feel, they're gonna go for it. I was looking under one person's tweets, and someone had screenshotted, and they were like, someone's like, guys, make sure you at their job, bring their, so you start adding all these companies with their in the firm that the girl works. I think it's law she works in. You see JP Morgan, this, that, whatever. And then you see people below it. Yeah, that's it, guy. Come on, make sure she loses her job. Laughing. I'm like, so you're not actually thinking about the issue now. You're not actually concerned for the people who may be offended by it. You're
enjoying the fallout.
That's all it is. For me, that is the wrong premise. Because once this person loses their job, those people have still been offended. Those people are still hurt. You ain't enough to rectify that. You ain't brought an analysis to say why was that wrong and how do we make sure that don't happen in the future. They don't care. They don't care. So for me, that's why I don't get involved in cancel culture in the way that it spills out on Twitter. I say there's people out there who need to be dashed where. R. Kelly being one of them. There's Katie Hopkins. She needs to be dashed where. But I'm not going.
I had to mute her and block her, man. I had to.
I'm not going through Twitter and screenshotting it because I mean, it's only there to create a toxic environment. And what I've seen the last few days, as I said, one person makes an apology, but because this person's got 365,000 followers, and you like her makeup videos, and you like her. No, MJ is not cancelled. Yourself. You like her makeup videos, you like her shopping videos. You're quick to forgive her because you want her to bring out some more content. One that you didn't really F with in the first place, you can use that now to push what might be a genuine agenda, but you're going to use her to ride that boat. And I don't like it. So I just don't get involved in it in that kind of way because for me, it's not genuine. I'm here to deal with genuine people. It's similar. And it's not even in the same way, but it's the reason why for example, I don't get involved in this whole clap for the NHS because the people who are pushing this clap for the NHS don't care about the NHS. The government do not care about the NHS. I'm not, as my brother says, nah, clap with a hypocrite then. I'm not. I would do my own personal thank you for the NHS if I see, see if I see them. But I ain't clapping with the hypocrites because their agenda is different to mine.
No. For me, like, if you really care about NHS, are you going to really fund them? When hopefully, are you going to fund them? Clapping doesn't help the NHS. It's
what would have showed that you care for the NHS. If you would have voted for the party that wanted to pay for the NHS rather than the one that wanted to cripple them.
But another kind of thing. Now, the thing that really pissed me off was the whole Copper 90s situation. I was like, this was
poet and
now maybe this is where okay, I don't really know the thing, but look, this was something that was built by these two guys. They built this. They're the faces of the whole thing. And actually I saw Vuj in I think what was it? I think at Houston. I was like, hey, yeah. But I was supposed to. So someone he made this tweet. Poets made this tweet about years ago. Pulled it up. 2010, and because I think they have both sold a portion to this media company, the media company cannot tell one of the creators of this that, bro, you need to chill a bit, man. So go on, it's a big thing. And Vuj was like, I can't now be on this thing without my brother who I helped build it with. So, okay, and guys, Copa 90 is perhaps the biggest football YouTube thing. They're on flipping CNN. CNN actually use their footage. That's how big they are. But Vuj was like, no, I'm not going to do this stuff. I'm going to join with the poets. And the beauty of this is the beauty. Look at Copper 90's views now, and look at Vuj and Poet's views now. Because I made a concerted effort to be like, I'm going to go to those guys' things and like their videos and just really so support them. And that just showed you how it's coming back. Because now, for what those guys don't realize is that you thought that cancel culture would really impact Copper 90 and impact Poets and really destroy them and destroy Copper 90. But what they've done is that it has destroyed Copper 90. They don't know yet. Like, they are living off the residuals of what Poets and Vuj built. Yeah. But Poets and Vuj, these guys, because it's about the people.
Yeah, they've gone clear.
It's So you trying to bring down poets and so forth, no, because the bulk of their followers, because at the end of the day, the business of this whole thing are the people. How many eyeballs can you see? And the majority of the eyeballs don't care about some tweet he did 6 or 5 years ago. So he's still good.
Additionally to that, is the fact that like even now when all these things are going on, I'm seeing some of those same tweets being dragged up from Poet back then. But I'm like, we have dealt with that. That's calm. He was punished, if you want to say punished. You know, he was, in the end, they had to leave Copenhagen for whatever reason. And now they're doing what they're doing. We dealt with it at the time, and he's now come out the other side, you might say. How long are we going to continue to punish someone? That's why the whole cancel culture don't work, because you don't give someone a fair trial. You don't then say, okay, you are guilty of that, so this is your time you're going to serve. And then when you come out on the other side, you are, rehabilitated. Are they still making those comments? Are they still being offensive? Have they come out better on the other side? And if they have, why are we still bringing up their tweets? Because your agenda, and a lot of them, I'm going to say it, is, so especially when it comes to the feminists, I'm going to say it, their agenda is to trash men. It's to trash men. So if you want to drag it out from 10, 15 years ago, even though that person has, I've seen people say, listen, I apologize for this in a 30-minute video 5 years ago. Just go watch that. I got nothing to say. And it's like, you're not, you don't care about what was said and how it was rectified. You probably didn't watch the video. You just want that person to
suffer.
It's a mess, man. And I'm not here to defend those people that make certain comments, but I just don't. I don't like hypocrisy in it, whichever way it comes from.
Okay, guys, look, man, that is all for us here for this week. So and everything, man. This is look. Thanks for your questions, man. Thanks for your questions, man. But guys, remember, man, we have a Patreon out there. We've been doing this for a few months right now, and again, we want to try and hopefully take this Football Dugout to the next level and so forth. So remember, the way that you can help to support us, to help this whole thing grow, is by helping to support us by being a Patreon for us on our platform. And the link is down there below in the description box. And, just look at Twitter and so forth. We may be releasing something as an introductory video just to, get your feet wet as to know what you can expect on the Patreon platform. But guys, please, we really need your support there just to support what we've been able to do, giving you that content. Look at the 3 sexy guys giving you that quality stuff in here, man. Just click that on that link below, man. So guys, any final words before we exeunt?
You know what? I know we didn't get into the show, and I don't want to go into a long thing because we're doing our goodbyes, but France have given the title to PSG. Liverpool fans are getting excited.
Actually, can we talk about that just really briefly before we go? Let's just talk about that just real briefly, because that's a good way to end. That's messed up. Because there are games to play. If there are games to play, that means... So I think Amiens got relegated.
Amiens to lose.
Relegated. And they still had games to play and could have still gone through. That's unfair.
The issue is in the league below that, there's one team that were 12 points or something off of safety, so fair enough. But the 2 teams, I think only 2 teams get relegated. And the 2 teams above that team, so it'd be 19th and 18th, are both locked on the same amount of points. So who are you going to relegate? Are you going to say goal difference?
Oh, okay. So the top 2 teams in the second division, they've now been promoted now.
Yes. Yeah. But then the league below the second tier is governed by a different body, and they haven't made a decision what they're doing yet. So it's still kind of up in the air. But
Leon have already taken league.
100%.
Lille 1 point off Champions League.
Yeah, so they've not got it. Rennes are in the qualifiers.
Actually, let's just check these standings real quick.
But I think Liverpool fans are now getting excited that this may happen here. But I just want to say this now to Liverpool fans: even if you do get given the title, it doesn't count. It's got asterisk. It don't count. You ain't won nothing. You have not won nothing. Don't come to me with no
titles and an asterisk.
Yep. Don't come to me with that, because I will grill you.
No. It's not. It's an asterisk, man. So Okay, so PSG, look, that's all cool. So Marseille 56 points. Rennes
Yeah,
50
Marseille
points.
and Rennes are in the Champions League. Rennes are in the qualifiers.
Lille.
I think Lille up to Nice will be in the Europa League.
So Rennes were 8 points behind with 10 games to go. It's still 10 games to go.
Yeah, but
Well.
Lille themselves are 1 point outside the Champions League.
Yeah, there you go.
3.
No. Is it, it's only 3 for France.
Yeah, it's only 3. Yeah,
bro. Lille would be pissed off. And that's where my boy's at. Victor
Osimhen.
Osimhen.
So I don't think.
Do you know why that's messed up? See, now, remember, Liverpool have been hovering and looking at him. So he'll say to himself, that, wait a minute. I am top rated. I won't be in the Champions League next season. Can I afford a whole season not being in the marquee market of Europe? So Lille right now may lose this Osimhen, their best player, because they don't have Champions League football, which they think they probably would have gotten in 10 games' time.
I think to do it this way is gonna, as we've seen, Lyon are gonna go Liga, and the French president of the organization already said he expects legal claims, but the decision they've made makes sense. That's what he said. I can imagine there's going to be a number of clubs that will probably say, well, hold on a minute. Either you just cancel the whole thing or we finish. You can't just determine these things when there's games to be played. It doesn't make sense.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
So if they do this in England, I imagine there's going to be a lot of legal action being taking place.
These guys were 3 points off, 3 points behind Saint-Etienne.
Yeah.
Nîmes.
Nîmes. No, but Nîmes, I think it's only 2 teams, isn't it? I think it's Amiens and Toulouse.
Guys like this.
The playoff.
Okay, playoff. Okay, all right.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And
But
even
Amiens 7 points.
the Dion, they're I don't know how you say that. The one
Dion.
they're 30. They got 30 points as well. So there's 2 teams that Nîmes were right behind.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think this? So do you think the Premier League is edging closer to doing that, declaring, or no idea?
No, I don't think.
I think every day that when there's no football, it's closer and closer. But I think it would take. I think the Premier League would be the last of any European league to do that. So you will have to get through Spain, you have to get through Germany, you have to get through Italy first, I believe, before England consider it. If all of those do it, then I think England may well be fourth because they're in, same European competitions. If their next season is delayed, and say next season of all the other European clubs are played at the same time as we're finishing our current season, then it throws everything out of kilter. So I think England they'll look at Italy, Spain, and Germany, and before and wait for them to kind of make a decision. But I think the intention in the Premier League is to try and play, which is.
But it doesn't make sense because I saw somewhere that you need around 300 people or whatever to put on a game of football. In terms of, you talk about both sides, coaching.
There's so many people.
The people, yeah. The groundsmen, the security. You're going to need some sort of medical assistance and all kinds of thing in the stadium. So you're putting a lot of people at risk to put on a football match, even behind closed doors. So apparently we've come over the peak, but we still don't know if there's going to be a second wave or anything like that. So you can't possibly say yes, we're going to start the season again here, because what happens if it kicks off again?
Yeah, that's what the danger. One person tests positive, you restart the whole thing again.
Yeah, so I think it just to try and save some money, or look at the financial aspect of it. That shouldn't be at the lead. That shouldn't be the first thing you're thinking about. It should be the safety of the people involved, and I don't think that is what's happening here.
That's why I don't even like. I always see this competition keeps popping up, and when it's going to restart, we should just cancel the league. I'm like, we're cancelling the league to do what? What are you saying? So we can start the new season? Like, but there's no football is not ready to start. So let's wait. Let's just
that's true. You just wait.
Let's wait. And if it runs too long, you cancel. If it doesn't, then you resume. But let's just wait and you say, is football ready to restart? Yes or no? If yes, which season do we restart? If no, you just carry on waiting.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's it from us here. Remember, guys, remember to join up and click on our Patreon, become a patron, help to support the Football Dugout. All the links are in the description box below. Remember to follow your boy Nix and follow your boy Devil. Link in the description box below. Guys, peace out, stay true, and remember to stay black. Peace out. Peace.